Hello everyone, welcome to the Influential Chef. My name is Rocky Valente and I am in a mission. I want to bring you as a guest not just the top star Michelin chefs, but chefs from all over the world. I want to tell their story, how they become in love for the industry and for food and for cooking. What are their dreams? What are their achievements and how you can get the same results? So don't forget to subscribe, follow us online and check out the influentialchef.com for our secrets how you can become the next rock star of the chef world using the power of social media and digital influence. So enjoy this episode and I see you there. Welcome everyone, welcome to this episode of the Influential Chef, and I'm back to the Netherlands, my sweet city Amsterdam. I wish I was there with you. I never want to present my guests because I think then point one, I always spell or say your name wrong. So I want you to do that for me. So it's exactly like you want. And then we go through all your story. I'm so excited. I have so many questions, but please introduce yourself.
Well, hello everybody. Tim Golsteijn. Born and raised in Amsterdam. Still working and living there. I'm working in the Hotel 27 and Restaurant Bougainville at the Dam Square. I'm 34 now and been cooking all my life since I was a little kid. Go to cooking school, seen a lot of different restaurants, and became chef now like 5 years ago. First in another restaurant, and then here for 4 years. Got rewarded with 1 Michelin Star. And
you are taking me all opportunities to make questions to you. Oh. You're telling all the story already. No. Wow, but 34 years old with 1 Michelin star already. But I want to go to the beginning. Okay. Yeah. So you are born and raised in Amsterdam and you are working on the Dam Square. So you don't get more Amsterdam than that.
That's true. Yeah, it is a dream coming true. No, before I've worked in a park in the south part of Amsterdam. Had a big garden, and it was an event center, and with a small restaurant with some a la carte. But we did more events like catering and like weddings and all that. And I was working there for 3 years, and it started to annoy me a little bit, and I wanted to go back.
Why? Because you were in the south part?
No, because of the groups, the big groups, and all the events that we were doing. And I came there as a sous chef to set up the a la carte restaurant, but it was 20% of the total package. Mm. And then the chef left. They asked me to become chef. I did, and it was for me it was like a new adventure. First time as a chef, I had to lead a kitchen and management things. But after 1.5 years, I wanted to cook again and also really create my own kitchen and my own style, and also at a high level. I was always used to work in fine dining restaurant. Mm-hmm. And now I was doing events, and I could do my own thing in a la carte restaurant, but it was a small restaurant. We had 10 to 15 guests, and so I was already looking a little bit around me. And then there was a former 2 Michelin star chef who was a signature chef in this hotel where I'm working now, and he was looking for a kitchen chef, and he accidentally we did an event with a lunch for a kid that was 16 and really sick. And then we were cooking, and then he said, "Can I get your number? I wanna meet you and have a chat, coffee one day, because I've got something interesting for you." And we came here, and it somewhere in my city. So they were still building it, but I said yes immediately, and I knew because he was former 2 Michelin star, and I knew that we're gonna set the
highest standard.
So then also immediately Lando Meinheimer, our wine director and restaurant manager, was also involved in this project, and he's still working with us. And after 2 months, I got a sous chef who's now already kitchen chef, and we're really like a triangle, so a team of 3. And yeah, we're doing. I think we're doing pretty well now. After 3.5 years, every day we're fully booked. Now again, because we're open again for 2 weeks. Thank God we can we can serve guests again. But yeah, that is a little bit where it started and how I came here.
But okay, but I want more details. So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you were a kid, do you have brothers and sisters?
No,
Only child.
only child. Yeah.
Okay. When did you? What month is your birthday? What is your What is your zodiac?
I'm from June.
Okay, so Cancer. No, how to say? I never know how to say in English. Tell me.
Gemini.
Oh, Gemini. Oh, okay.
Gemini.
Slightly
Yeah.
different.
In Dutch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Only child. You had a lot of attention. How was you growing up?
Very good. I grew up, and that's also where my interest started in cooking. I grew up in the center of Amsterdam, in like a normal, how you say that, apartment, but on the 3rd floor. So we didn't have a garden. So I was always outside. But when I was like around 8 years old, we moved to or not moved, but in the summertime we were on a camping. Mm-hmm. We had a chalet there, and like for 4 to 5 months every year, also in the spring break and the summer break, I was there. I had a small boat going through the waters there. It's just outside of Amsterdam.
Where? Vinkeles? No. Where
it's nearby het Gooi.
But for sure, my audience, I have a lot of Dutch people. They will know.
If you go a little bit further than Ouderkerk, it's at Nederoost den Berg, Weesp, Hilversum, that part, and it was on the riverside, the Vecht, and also is in the water playing around, and I had a friend there who was a little bit older than me, and he had 2 sisters, and his parents had a cafe restaurant, and they were always working, and then he had to cook for his little sisters, and that's where it started a little bit. He did go to cooking school. We were cooking together. We really had fun doing that, and then he did an internship in the village where the camping was. And he asked me, hey, we need a dishwasher for the weekend. Can you help us out? And I was like 12 or 13. And I said, yeah, of course. I wanted to make money. I was always busy already with working and getting some extra money. And so I did it that weekend. And they gave me a job immediately. And I had my first job when I was like 12, 13 years old, and starting in the dishwasher.
How much did you make? Do you remember?
I don't know, but I think it was like maybe something like €3 per hour or something like that.
Nice.
I think something like that. Yeah, it was not about the money, but it was, I really enjoyed working in the kitchen and create things. And it was an American diner called Charlie's.
Milkshake and
and hamburgers and spare ribs and like these things. And then already quickly I asked them, can I make some salads and can I do the desserts? And that's how it started. And we got we did cook like 3 to 4 times a week on the camping. And then we did for all the kids at the camping, we started to make pancakes, and we did these kind of things. We go fishing for eel, the eel on the camp. So that's where it started. And the funny thing was, when I was really small, I ate everything. Then at that moment, I was really, I don't know. There were a lot of things I didn't want to eat anymore, or I didn't like, and after becoming dishwasher, I tried to, I think like, okay, but if I want to do something with this, I need to taste more and more and more. So that's how it started. Yeah. And then,
so you decide, my camera is doing crazy. You decide to go to cooking school, or the school advised you then you should go? Yeah, I know you guys have a different system than we have. Like part of my kids were raised in Holland, so I know how it works. And for me, for someone who's out of Holland, makes me not so comfortable with the idea then the school decide what is the future for my kids.
Yeah.
And because in Portugal, for example, or other countries, you can decide to go to cooking school, but then if you want to go to the university, you can do it as well. So it's a mix. So I'm curious to know, point one, how was school for you before cooking school? And if it was your decision or it was advice from the school?
Well, I was always more hands-on, and I was always busy, and I was always really...
Did you behave well?
But I concentrate, and I was always busy with doing things. I rather... so I was not that really learning a lot or study. And that was before cooking school. And I had some like a remedial teacher and some extra classes, and
it's okay with that. It's just I have been talking with so many chefs and a lot of Michelin star chefs, and it's so curious because it's certain pattern then you have between you guys.
Yeah.
And one of them is exactly that thing with school. Then I'm not saying that is your case, but I hear a lot then, I did not do well in school. School was not for me. I was very all over the place. It's funny. It's very interesting that me as an observer see that pattern going on.
I was always quickly distracted, and I still am, but now I'm always...
That's how long I keep you here talking with me.
Yeah, but always looking around me, seeing what happens. Also being a chef, you have to. So, but that was already in me when I was really small, and I didn't really like people telling me what to do. So I was always I was not I didn't have a bad behavior or something, but I was distracted quickly, and I could not concentrate all day long, sitting at the table, watching, and doing so. And when I had my exam, the CITO-toets, as they call it here.
I know.
I didn't do it very bad. I did do well, and I could also go to study. But at that point, I was working in the kitchen. I had my friend cooking, and he was already in the cooking school nearby my house. And I was like, I want to go to that school. I want to also do. It was like baking.
What was the name of the school?
The Berkhof.
Okay.
At the Wieboudstraat, a real small school. So also good for me, like 250 students. Everybody knew each other. And I could go on the bike. And I was like, okay, let me do that school and then see what happens. And the first 2 years we had pastry and bakery. And the third and the fourth year you get the cooking lessons and also surfing. And I started to work in the kitchen more and more. And I was like, okay, I think I want to give this a try. I really like it. And my parents always said to me, you have to do something what you like. and it's more important than to go studying or whatever. And when I was like 13, 14, 15, with that friend on the camping, I always was looking to get some money and have a small job or our own thing.
What did you do with the money? If you can tell.
Yeah, well, I was really good in saving it.
Nice.
Yeah, saved already. And yeah, what did we do? Like at a certain point, you go out and buy some clothes, but also the funny thing, I also started to buy cookbooks, but a little bit later, like when I was around 16, 17.
How old were you when you moved when you went to the cooking school? Like 12?
Yeah, I think I was 13. 13. Yeah, did the first 2 years bakery and pastry. Now,
do you like bakery and pastry?
I love it now. But
you like to eat?
At that time, I really not hated it, but I was so young.
You wonder next. Where is coming next?
I want to go cooking.
Yeah.
And yeah, after 2 years, so I was like 15, almost 16, we started having cooking lessons. And then I also had to did a small internship for a week or 2 weeks in a real kitchen. And so, and then I decided also, okay, after my exam, I go to the real cooking school, because this was like the
warm up.
The warm up was like just only the basics. And at the end, they said to all of us, you really want to go work in the kitchen, long hours, every weekend, your birthday, and all of the other days, and people, you're always working when people are off. And do you really want that? And we were like, yes, we want that, and we go for it. I go to the cooking school also in Amsterdam to become like the how you say that, independent chef, just 2 years. And then you had to do like an internship 3 days a week.
How many years it was, the second one?
The second one was 1 year. It was the niveau 2. After that, it was also the basic chef. And I could do it in 1 year. Normally it's 2 years, but I could do it in one because I already had the
knowledge. Yeah.
Knowledge from the school before. And then I did niveau 3. And that was 2 years with a lot of internships. And after that, I want to go niveau 4. That's specialization, also for the pastry. But I got asked to work in the Amstel Hotel in Amsterdam. At that time, Restaurant Bougainville with Edwin Katz, the chef. And that was like, you don't see that anymore here in the Netherlands. In France, you do, but there were like 40, 50 chefs working there with a separate pastry section where we make all the bread and the chocolates ourselves, all the dough, everything was handmade. It was really crazy. We also had like 8 chefs in the kitchen. You had only one chef working every day for the sauces. And I got an opportunity to go there, but they already had their students. So they said to me, like, you can come, but you have to work as a commis. And maybe if you would like, you can do the niveau 4 after the first year. But always how that goes, I was already, working, and I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna study. I learned everything there already in the pastry. That's where also my love for the pastry started.
Back? Oh.
Yeah. No, started really. A lot of chefs hate it. And
I know.
They don't like to.
I know, because what I have been listened to is when you do anything with pastry, it's a lot about measurements.
Yeah.
And if you want to be more creative, you cannot fail that. So it's some chefs feel that it's like restraining their own creativity.
Yeah.
And that was the reason why I was asking you.
Yeah, for me it's different. I use a lot of knowledge I have from my pastry years, because I've also been a pastry chef for a year in a hotel in Amsterdam. Later, like in 2013. And now you see, also my kitchen chef was a pastry chef for 2 years in a 2-star restaurant. So the funny thing is, we have a lot of influences of techniques we're using in the whole menu. So from the amuse to some different structures in dishes. Not that it's sweet, but like the way we
the way that you present and you mix.
Yeah. And that I think that is really really nice, because like I said, there are a lot of chefs who don't like it, and they're also depending on a pastry chef. And for us, it's really a section in the kitchen. I don't have a different pastry kitchen. I do have some people who work there full time, and I do also have 2 students that are always doing the niveau 4 pastry classes. So that's funny. I didn't do it myself, but I'm educating the guys who are doing it. So, So for me, it's really important, and I really like sweet. I like everything.
Do you?
I love it. Everything from chocolate to candy and cookies.
But do you like to cook or do you like to eat?
Both.
Okay.
If you ask section in the kitchen, it's pastry.
Okay. I will. Tell me.
So that if I have to, because nowadays I'm more like checking the kitchen, doing all the management things, and helping here and there. But if I'm understaffed, somebody's sick, or I really need to stand a party in the kitchen, I put myself on the pastry section. Yeah.
When you were a kid, what did you love to eat? What was your favorite food when you were a kid?
I think my favorite food was seafood.
Oh, really? When you were a kid or now?
Now still.
Okay.
Now still. When I was a kid, yes. And my mom always said, if my mom talks about me being a kid, we go to Portugal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And she says, like, she was like looking at me while I was eating the pulpo,
polvo allegrejo.
The ink
with olive oil and potatoes.
The squid. But she was like, you were eating everything, like rubber, like you. And we were looking like, what the fuck is it? You know, so. I think that I love the scallops and langoustine. I have one langoustine also here. Set up my arm.
The collection. I have other animals. We can.
Oh, nice.
I have a mermaid, but you cannot cook.
Nice.
Yeah, at least I never found one. So.
No, not yet.
Not yet. And now, what do you like to eat?
Yeah, well, I like to eat everything. It's a better question what I don't like to eat.
Okay, what do you don't like to eat?
Okay, I don't like mustard.
Okay. No?
No, and I don't like the real fermented blue or red cheese. The real strong heavy. I like cheese, like old cheese. I like some real soft white cheeses, but the real strong blue, and I've tried it so many times, but I just can't eat it.
Me either.
I think the blue cheese has a little bit the same intensity as the mustard. These are 2 things I don't like. And
I think it's. I was never expecting. Then the chef said to me they don't like mustard, because in European food you have so many influence or so many things now. Maybe with mustard.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We did, and there are a few mustards were more a little bit like sweet and sour, as like Vinkeles or like Safora mustard from France. We use that, and I can eat that in a dish. But like mustard, like the real famous white bread with the croquette.
Oh yeah, I know, but
I
let's
dislike.
not talk about croquette.
No.
Because like for me, arriving to Holland, and I'm Portuguese, so our cultural relation with food is very different. So we grow up around the kitchen. Like I eat warm 2 times a day. So
Yeah.
you know all that things. So when I saw the concept of croquette, then we have croquette as well. And we have your Berlin balls, but ours are made with eggs and they're much more sweet. So it's like, it was a very big conflict in my mind. Like my croquette is totally different than your croquette. And then we don't use so much mustard. So it's really interesting. I have a story and maybe you will understand me because when I married Paul and my husband, he's Dutch. When I married him, I love to cook, and for me, cooking for my family was a thing. So I used to do steak with mushrooms and cream sauce, but with a specific way of doing my cream sauce. So I do, like Americans say, everything from scratch, not the cream sauce, but the garlic and the way then the garlic is on the pan. And then, you know, it took me like, I don't know, 20 minutes to put all that together. Yeah. And then I serve everyone. And so I was bringing my kids, and my kids are Portuguese, so we mix our families. And my husband had the kids, and he was Dutch. And so I served the steak with the cream and mushrooms. And the first thing my dear second son, stepson, it's not stepson, but it's like my did was put ketchup on top of my steak. And I was so offended. And I remember it was one of our first fights in the family. Like now, if I say it's totally ridiculous because you have my perception, but maybe you understand my problem. Like, no, no.
That sauce, and then that's the same. Yeah, it's. I think it's also education a little bit of, because sometimes they use the kids also in the Netherlands. They use the appelmoes. Mm-hmm. It's the apple compote, like
I know.
They put it. And I always said that. Unfortunately, I don't have children yet, but I always said if I get children, they will never get to eat this for me. They have to taste everything, and no mayonnaise, no ketchup, and no appelmoes the first 8 years. I mean, that's there's a little. I can really understand that you feel offensive.
Oh, I was sad. I was very sad, and it was really interesting. But this is not about me. So I want to know, what do you love on the kitchen life first? Because my perception, and for everyone that I have been working as a client, so my clients on the digital part, and every person that I have been interviewing, the kitchen have a specific level of adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like it's like a huge rush. It's like a very addictive, right?
I've got it here also.
The adrenaline compost.
Yeah. And the other one, I got one here on my arm, is the serotonin. So
serotonin. Yeah, I know.
What? Yeah.
So what is there? What is that? What is going on? Then you guys get so hooked on that.
I think it has to be in you, of course. But when you get infected by it, it runs to your blood. And it's like what you said before, what you can see already, like a certain pattern before when we were kids. Like I think we still are, and everything in the kitchen makes us feel free, makes us do exactly what. Yeah, it's I can't explain it very well.
I can feel what you're saying. I think I understand. I have a question. I don't know if what I'm saying is stupid. Do you guys have, when you got the process? I don't know. I don't know if the process is the same everywhere, but you get the order, then the order needs to be ready, and then the order is delivered. Did you guys ring the bell? Do that little thing?
Yeah.
Because no, okay, but
No.
I was reading then.
Yeah.
One of the reasons is because the sound of the bell is kind of a reward of serotonin to your brain, and that makes. Or maybe you guys have something when you know then the order is done, or you know the shift is done and everything was done. You need to have a kind of celebration moment.
Yeah,
it makes everything come into place.
It's and that's why we're also we have a system like screens, and it's so it's digital, and we don't work with the bell anymore. But yeah, we can set it on cooking and on plated.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a little bit different because it's not making noise. But when we put it on plated, it's for me also, okay, this is done. This is, and it's a go now. And if the service doesn't come too quick, I'm gonna yell at them, service. Like they have to bring the plate because you want it to be immediately at the table. At the end of the service, we did a lot of. We are really a team, and I think for me also it's like a family. I have guys working with me already for several years. For me, that's really important, and yeah, I think when we finish, we all finish together because as I said, the pastry section is also integrated in the kitchen, so it's not that everybody's leaving and the pastry chef has to wait for the last dessert. We help each other until the end, and then we give a box to each other, good service, and we have a drink, of course.
Of course. Not necessary, of course, but of course.
Sometimes I'm not drinking every day, but sometimes just we have a drink.
Of course, no, I'm just playing around. Yeah, I get you.
No, that's fun, and we always have a conversation afterwards. So we always discuss how the evening went, how the service went. Sometimes it's really quickly. Sometimes we're discussing for 20 minutes, or I have to tell them that I wasn't happy with a few things, but yeah, it's and I'm think I'm a little bit crazy because now not really anymore, but before, I think for 6-7 years, after service, I go to the gym in the nighttime, and just to release the rest of the
pressure, the adrenaline.
The adrenaline. So, and I always said, yeah, a lot of chefs go home or stay at work, drink some beers, take some chips,
and etc.
Go with for and etc. And instead of doing that, I go to the gym for an hour and clear my mind. And I did it on a certain point with a few chefs in Amsterdam. And it's really funny because, after the service, we go for gym.
It was the influential chef gym.
We did it on Instagram and they call it Vinkeles. Yeah. And we were tagging each other every time. That it was a funny thing. But for now, because of the pandemic and everything, we try to, we're not doing that anymore. But now the gym's opening 24/7 again. So yesterday I went after service again. I felt good. But I'm getting older also now a little bit. So I try to also...
Older, very older. You are very old. Yeah. Exactly.
No.
Exactly. I want to know, what kind of chef are you? Like, if I go to the restaurant where you are a chef, how can you, what can I expect?
Okay, so I can two answers. One is
I want both.
Yeah, kitchen now, and also so the restaurant, the menu, the a la carte. I'm really internationally focused, so I don't have any limits. And before they used to say, yeah, it's a fusion kitchen. We say our kitchen is confusion, because we are really
All over the place, all over you.
Like, and I tried to. I did some traveling to Asia before. I was planning to go to the south part of America, Latin America, go to Peru and Brazil, Argentina, to also see and taste the cuisines there. But unfortunately, I think it's going to be next year. But so when you have my tasting menu, we go to Indonesia, Thailand, Japan, France, Dutch ingredients and techniques and dishes. We have a pasta we make ourselves. So it's really everything from all over the world. We have, I think, like 300 different spices that I import from all over the world. Mm-hmm. I do like to work with farmers and the fish from the North Sea and nearby, but I don't want to be you said it, restricted, or just only restricted. To one. My basics were French, and we do have some techniques and some like the way we make sauces, the way we treat meat and fish. I make beurre noisette, so the brown butter. It's one of my favorite. We make chocolates with it as a signature bonbon. And we also use it in our glass for the vegetables. This is really this is what you can expect. You really have to like all kind of flavors, and I'll take you on a tour all over the world.
Journey.
Yeah, from east, west, north, south, everywhere.
And the second?
You can also expect me to be in the restaurant. I really like to interact with the guests. So every night I go into the restaurant, talk to people, serve some things. You can also expect show elements. So we also have some dishes with liquid nitrogen, some special sauces we make at the table, table preparations. And always a chef is coming to the restaurant to do that. Me, my kitchen chef, or some of the other guys. So there's always interaction with the kitchen. And the second thing, me being a chef, to give an example, Gordon Ramsay, mm-hmm. I'm totally different.
Okay.
So you never hear me scream in the kitchen, never, because I think for me it's my own fault if I have to scream. I'm like the coach all day. I'm checking everything. I'm tasting everything, and the moment of us to shine during service, if something is not good, I think it's my fault because I didn't.
Interesting. Then you think like that. Yeah. I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, and I think also, and during the service, that's maybe because I'm walking around and checking things. So that's the only thing that you can see I'm the chef. But during daytime, I'm just one of the guys, and it's I think it's not easy to see who's the chef, and it's I really like to be like part of the team, and I think that's also nowadays really important to have your team enjoy their work and come to work happy, because my learning school, some of them were, I've learned a lot, and it brought me where I am now. But I was like, I slept for 4 hours. I was under the shower still sleeping, and I was thinking, I have to go to work again, and I didn't really like it. I didn't enjoy it because it was always screaming, yelling, never it was good enough. The vibe was...
Do you say to your team, well done? I think you do, but I'm just asking you.
Yeah, I do, and I think sometimes I have to be a little bit more hard. More hard. They also know they don't need to, fuck with me. But we have a chef's table where the conversation started. I was sitting in a chef's table, but they were making too much noise, and they go for dinner now. So I think I moved to the restaurant. But when we have a chef's table of guests, always they are saying, "You're so structured. It's like a machine. There's not many noise. The people not screaming, not yelling. You're really focused." And yeah, I think that is really important. So that is really me being a chef. I think new generation chefs are more like that. And that is a little bit what you can expect when you're here. Yeah.
What is your biggest achievement in your chef career?
Yeah, the Michelin Star.
Can you tell me how it was? How it was? So did you know tell me, because I know other stories. So I want to know your story.
Yeah, we got in this project in the end of 2017. We opened the restaurant in the December, like 2 weeks before Christmas, but we did open really slowly. And the signature chef who brought me here, he stopped even before the hotel was opened. So like we worked together 4 months and then he quit. And then we were like, okay, what are we going to do, me and Lando? Because he brought us here. And then our, coach, the signature chef.
He's not there, he's gone.
Is going away. And it was like, so it was like, okay, what are we going to do? And he said, you know what, for me it's different because he left because he had some arguments with the stockholders and the director. So they were not on one line anymore. He left and he said to us, you know what, you're young. For me, because he was working also in another company, a big company. He said, I have my basics and everything. For you, you can still set this up and, make some cool, make a cool restaurant and get everything out of it that is possible here. Because, so it was big news in the Netherlands because the Pascal Jahai, the former 2 Michelin star chef, who after 15 years comes back, makes his comeback in the Dutch gastronomy. So it was big news. And then, and then after 4 months he left. So it was big news. And then and Lando, who are we? Like we were like the underdogs, and we didn't have anything achieved yet, or not on our own name. So everybody was real criticizing, like, okay, what is happening there? And there's still hotel and restaurant, and so everybody, all eyes on us. So it was like a roller coaster the first year. Mm-hmm. We worked our ass off 7 days a week. I had to do I am executive chef, so I'm responsible for breakfast, the bar menu, the room service, the lunch, the dinner, the restaurant. So it was like crazy. And we find our way, and we had a Michelin inspector in February already.
When they announce normally?
He did at the end of the dinner. And he said, I'm this and that, I'm from the Michelin. And he didn't say anything about if he did like it or not. But
was that? Then I was asking, okay. Yeah. But you knew it was him. I had always the idea they go undercover.
Yeah, they go, but still, if we knew, because a friend of mine who's also a Michelin star chef here in Amsterdam, he sent me a message. Michelin is in Amsterdam, so they were in the group chat sending photos.
How many times do they eat? Like
they go for lunch and dinner every day, and there are like 2 or 3 inspectors then, and they go to the different restaurants in Amsterdam. So like we do, and then the guy didn't have a reservation, came at 7:30, talks a little bit Belgium, was asking for a la carte, so we knew it. And then it was my first time cooking for the Michelin, as far as I know.
Are you nervous?
I was at that point. I was really new, but I was really nervous in the beginning for everything. Like I wasn't used to talk to media, interviews. I'm from Amsterdam, so I have a big mouth, and I was tough enough to lead the kitchen and have like 10 people under me, but still it was like I've worked in hotels before, but not as a chef, so I was really 24/7 busy with setting this up and yeah, work my ass off and do my best. And then in the summer of 2018, we had another inspection, and we recognized him because it was the head of the Michelin Benelux. And at that point, Pascal, the signature chef, was already gone for a long time. I really had to find my way here. The first 6 months were over, and I think we find our way here. And we were really happy with the menu, with our teams. The service had a really amazing team also. And yeah, we were like in a good flow, and still working every day, pushing. But we said we go for it. Then he had, as far as we know, a great dinner. And in the end of 2018, we got invited to the Michelin Star review. We forgot our passes because we were also like we were not busy with getting the star because we were just setting up the restaurant. It was our first year, and we really honestly did not expect anything. And then a friend of mine, who was a former 2 Michelin star kitchen chef at Chic, he opened his own place, Daalder, and he was already trying to get that star. And we were all every year amazed that he didn't get it, because he was always working in a 2-star restaurant for his whole career. And they review by putting some letters first. And then they said, okay, we go to Amsterdam, and we go, and then they say the A, and then the L. And I said immediately, Daalder, he's getting it. And then we saw the G and the B. And then Lando said to me, what the fuck? This is Bougainville. And then they say Bougainville. And from that moment, it got...
Did you feel that? No, you're not expecting, right?
I was sitting, he was standing up, and I was like, nah, this can't be true. And he put me, he kissed me like this, like this. And there on the left and the right side of the podium, you could go up on the stairs, and I did not know, but I was just climbing up like this. And I took out my jacket. I had a white shirt under it quickly in the morning, because we had a long night before. And there was a text from the brand baller at my bed. So I was like, I saw it. I was like, why did I add this? Because I did not expect anything of to be on the stage. And they asked, and I could not even. I was like, yeah, I'm so flabbergasted. We were not expecting this, and we were really happy. And I was standing there for like maybe 40 minutes, because at the stage, again, next to the other chefs, but they were still revealing the other restaurants. 7 Heaven, I was like, and I give my jacket, because immediately you get the Bragar jacket from, but my phone was in my jacket. So I wanted, after 10 minutes, I was like, oh, I want to get my phone, but I didn't have it anymore. So my phone like exploded. And from that point, I think we were for a week in like a
zone.
Yeah, like in Dutch you call it a roes. Like after, like being sober, it's like we drink so many champagne. We got so many bottles and cards and flowers, and yeah, it was.
Did you cry? Almost.
No, I didn't know. I did not cry, but I was like, yeah, I didn't sleep that night.
I believe so.
And also, at that point, my ex-girlfriend, was her birthday, exactly. So and I had to work that day. So in the daytime, I rushed to the restaurant, and we had 8 couverts that morning, and after the star, it immediately go to 30. So I said, stop, stop. I rather put the, make a good service with 30, and but I think I was drunk at that service because every table wanted to give me a glass of champagne. I already champagne the whole day. Yeah, it was really, really amazing. That was really something, not only in my career, but I think something, a real special moment in my life, because also you have worked so hard for many years to not to achieve this, because we never said that we are going for a star or we want to, but deep inside it's like winning the Champions League, or it's really special. So I just got this one for
nice.
And now we said to each other, you know what, we want to go for the second, because you have to make a decision. Are you okay with it now, like this, or we want to get better?
What is the difference? What you need to change to go to a second?
Nobody knows.
Oh, okay.
Nobody knows really. That's the secret of Michelin. I think there is something we do know, and that is that the first star is really about food, about flavors, and about constancy, about constant quality, and of course being creative. And if that's in a real 5-star hotel like here, and having silver cutlery and Rideau glass for champagne, or if that's in a small place in that is for the first star, that doesn't really matter. I think with the second it's more about also service, wine spice, show elements in the like real theater.
It's more into the experience.
I think it's
total
of the ambience, the service, but wine pairing, and also again the food has to be better, but also the constant quality, that is important. I think if you prove that you can do this on a top level for years, it has to be good every time, and they will
check you out every year. They check you every year, right?
Yeah.
Maintain yours.
Yeah. So at the end of the first year, we got rewarded with the star. Lando became the best sommelier from the Netherlands that year. The bar, because if you can see a little bit, this is
nice.
This is bar 27, a high-end cocktail bar. The head bartender there became the best bartender from the world.
Wow.
He won the Bacardi Legacy Award, and he had to do his exam for that in Mexico. And the funny thing is, he left us and now opens up 2 bars in Mexico. But we still talk to him. So it really went really well for us. Mm-hmm. And it was also for us to show everybody in the Netherlands, like, hey, here we are. And because a lot of people were like, what's happening there? And, a lot of blah, blah, blah. So for us, it was, we got on the map. We put ourselves on the culinary map of the Netherlands. Yeah.
Of the world, not just on
world. Yeah, we have a lot of international guests, but it went really well the first year, and the second year we also were you can't go always for 200%, so it went down a little bit. Some people left in both teams, but we continued pushing ourselves to create new things, new dishes. We kept the star for the first and the second year. And yeah, well, last year was a crazy year, of course. First, we were expecting nothing, but they did give new 2 Michelin stars, 3 Michelin stars. So it was exciting because we were like, yeah, what's happening? You know, we know we're still doing our best, but yeah, everything changed a bit. But so for 3 years now, and yeah, we said to each other we're gonna go for another 3 years minimum and try to get that second star here. But it's not the focus. Our main focus is our guests. That's always my first, my most important thing. I cook for my guests and not for the Michelin. It's I rather have a full restaurant with happy guests that I talk to, and when I drive back home every night, yeah, I have positive feedback and you know, met nice people, and that's what I'm doing it for. Not to have the Michelin star only. You know, it's just a crown.
I was going to ask that because
Yeah.
I want to talk about how do you see digital influence and how do you see social media and etc. Because what I see happening is you have obvious the Michelin standard for restaurants, but you have a lot of extra side things will start to happen. So the reason why I'm originally DJ, and I was helping artists to grow online, artists in general, including chefs. But then I started, after the pandemic, I start creating options. So you can be coached by me, or you can work with my company. The thing is, I found a lot of similarities between artists, music artists and chefs in many different parts. The way they behave, the fight against being an underdog and tried, the partying hard and play, you know, work hard. So all of that, but as well about the power of Instagram for your own brands, extra all the other things. And the only thing then music artists lose for chefs is on many others, but you will understand what I mean, is on Instagram and on TikTok, but on Instagram, it's a very visual platform. So music, it's hard to express themselves, but cooking and the way that you guys serve and the way you create your dishes and the way then you take photos from that and you expose this, no, it's not possible to compare. So it's much more easy to grow and become a standard, and you have much more market as well than if you are a music artist. So I'm very interested to see what is your relation with social media and how you see it and how important or not is for you, and as well what you want for your future.
Yeah, well, I think the last 1.5, 2 years, I'm doing a lot on Instagram, but still more for fun and just to also a little bit business wise, but not for myself, more of course also for myself, but together with the company, of course, with the restaurant, but the most important thing for me is just fun, and I want to show to everybody who's following me a little bit of my day, what I'm doing, what we're creating, the fun we have in the kitchen. I think 80% of what I'm posting is in stories and is about my job, but I also post, like this morning, I go to Freeze Lab for the first time.
I know, I went many times. I love Freeze Lab. Did you die?
Yeah, I got it from for my birthday from a woman who arranged some events for me, and she said, let's go before work. So, and I posted a picture of me there.
I love Frizz Lab. How
Yes.
was for you?
And also, I think the other 20% are my hobbies. You know, driving the motorbike with the guys, because almost my whole team drive motorbikes. So we go often on a motorbike for a day. Like coming Sunday, we go to the TT in Assen to see the races together with the whole team. Training, sports, these things. Walk my dog, or not my dog,
What
a little
dog?
but my parents. So I see it also a little bit as my dog. So when it's possible, I walk with her. So it's just it's just, for me, it's a little bit of showing my life. And
Do you think it's important? Do you like to, aside of your work, to have other outlets where you can build your brand? For example, I have a lot of chefs who do brand deals, or I have a lot of chefs who create their own cooking course, or for normal people, or I don't know. I'm just wondering if that is something that is on your mind, or it's not important for you.
I think the last few years I was really busy only here, focused on here, everything as in the, and now for the last year my right hand became kitchen chef, so it also gives me a little bit more
space,
time off, and also some more time to do other things, because the first 2 years, and even when we got the star, we got asked for a lot of things, and to everything I said no, I'm busy with my restaurant, and these things coming later. And nowadays, under the name Chef Tim, I sometimes do some events for myself, but sometimes we did some home dinners for the restaurant, but also for myself. I became ambassador for the, how do you say that? Kidney Stichting, Nierstichting. It's like,
foundation.
The Kidneys Foundation. And it's the important thing is that we as Dutch people, but I think people in general, eat too much salt. And so I'm one of the Dutch ambassadors who trying to
bring awareness.
Make the people, bring some awareness, make the people eat a little bit less salt. So besides that, I did a lot of trips with suppliers, but also arranged them to go to Japan, Thailand, and the last 1.5 years, I did some events in Malmo, Sweden, for the Best Chef Awards. We did with different companies, some collaborations. So that, I try to do that more and more. And the most important thing for me is because I like it, and to also for the network with people, but also that because I know I can't do this another 30 years. And there's coming a point that I got to also have some other things. And school wasn't my best thing, so I never see myself become a teacher at school. It's not my, I don't know. I'm teaching guys in the kitchen now, and I got my diplomas for that. But as a job, a standard, I think it's boring for me.
I believe you fit the classification.
So it's more and more I'm becoming aware of. I have to also think about myself, not only the company and the restaurant, but also think about my.
How is to have relations on or friend? Do you hang out with your friends? Do you have friends, or maybe it's not correct, or a girlfriend or whatever? How is that?
Yeah, well, with friends, I have a small circle of friends. Like
they are not from the restaurant or not on the industry.
Well, my best friend is he's working in the Dylan Hotel in Restaurant Vinkeles, also one Michelin.
I know Dylan Hotel. Yes.
Yeah. He's one of my best friends. Another good friend of mine has his own company, but it's more like a Suriname small lunchroom,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also horeca. And then I have a group of guys I met in the kitchen. We play soccer with every Monday, but that is a big group of guys. The one is working at as a marinier. The other guy is working in the kitchen, and the other guy is doing some ICT computer technique stuff. So I have friends, and for me it's really important to see them also a lot. But sometimes, like my best friend, sometimes we don't see each other for 5-6 weeks, and then we call each other. Hey, we have to do a cup of coffee. Yeah, we have to do.
But that is a very Dutch thing, because
really,
you guys don't meet each other if you don't have on the agenda. What for us Latinos is very confusing, because if I want to see you, and if I miss you, I will call you and say, let me go to you, I'm missing you, let's drink a coffee. So it's a different thing.
And I've learned now in the past year that I have to make more time for that. And that I really, it's crazy to say, because the restaurant was closed and I was down also for a little time. But I also enjoyed it a little bit, having more free time for myself, my hobbies, sports. But the other side is that having a relationship is very difficult. I did had 2 relationships. The last one ended November last year. We lived together for 3 years. We had a relationship for 4 years, and it didn't work anymore because one of the things was that I'm always working, and always in my mind I'm always busy with work. So sometimes I think it's for me as a person, but also with my job, the combination is not possible to have a relationship. But I think it's also that you have to find somebody who is who understands,
who is flexible,
maybe has the same maybe the same job, or the same ambition. It's but I'm okay with it for now. I'm like fully focused on my career, and I'm young, so I'm getting older. But
everyone is getting older.
Time flies. Time flies. I just became 34, and
wow. Shall I tell you how old I am? I'm 40, so it's a 34 is nothing.
Like
so,
40, right?
I'm 40. I was born in 21 December 80. So,
all right.
My camera. Okay, last question. Because I took you 1 hour and 1 hour and 10 already.
Oh.
Tell me, if you could go back in time 10 years or 20, what you prefer, what did you tell to yourself?
What did I told myself?
Yeah, if you could go back in time and you could give any advice to yourself, what did you told?
That is funny, because we're just talking about having a relationship and the last year, the pandemic, and that it also made me realize that it's also more than only work. And I did miss a lot of things the last 10 years because I was always working, and I still want to travel a lot because I didn't do it. And I think also for my development as a chef, it's really important. So the other thing is, if I didn't work that hard,
you did not arrive where you are.
Where I am right now. But I would probably say 10 years ago, I would probably tell myself, try to also find a certain balance in also having a little bit of social life, and when I have a relationship, also try to invest your time in that, and enjoy life. I've always enjoyed life, but I mean, as you said, we chefs work hard, play hard. When I'm off, I'm always going out, try to do things. But I think it's like, if I could tell myself that 10 years ago and keep that in mind, would be better for my social life. But yeah, I'm still happy where I am right now.
Oh, I'm 100% sure then you are happy. To finish, I want you to tell any person why they should watch or listen to this talk. If you could advise to your friends, like this is a little teaser, then I will put and I will send. So what should you advise or what should you tell?
Why to listen? Yeah. I think if people find it very interesting, that's what I see a lot. People find it very interesting how a chef became a chef and where the love and the passion comes from for food. So I think to know a little bit more or to understand a little bit more the mind of a chef,
they should watch.
They should watch it, listen, and yeah, I hope they enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I hope they enjoy. Okay, I'm going to say thank you so much. I kidnapped you for quite some time. Sorry.
No problem.
I hope I can visit Amsterdam soon because I would love to visit and taste. My only thing is I don't eat meat, so I'm quite. What do you have for someone who I eat fish and seafood? But what do you advise me?
Well, if you look at our 7-course menu, we only have 2 meat dishes. Mm-hmm. The rest is fish, vegetarian, dessert. So it's
what
really
is the dessert. The dessert is very interesting.
Now it's raspberry, olive oil, and white chocolate. But
okay.
we also
what olive oil is doing there is making me confused, but it's okay.
We're using olive oil from Sicily. I've been there, Skirinda, and it's really grassy. It's really
It's green.
It's
right?
real green.
Because when I arrived to Holland, many Dutch people are convinced the good olive oil was transparent, and for me, no, needs to be green.
It's real green. It's real extra virgin, and we use that in a creme made of white chocolate with some vanilla. But it's really, the texture is really soft. It's really nice. Okay. So it's really fresh. Some sour because we're making gel with lime and tarragon. It's a really fresh, light dessert. Yeah.
Nice. I will. Okay, so I need to taste, and I hope you did enjoy. It was really fun for me, and great. It gives me a great. I'm on this job of calibrating and understanding the market so I can serve better my clients and who I'm working with.
Yeah.
So very nice. Thank you so much. I wish I could hug you, but you are too far away. No, you cannot see now.
Thank you too. I hope you did enjoy. And
oh yes, I did.
I did. And see you maybe when you're in Amsterdam.
No, I will be in Amsterdam for sure soon, at least on ADF for sure, but maybe before. I'll tell.
All right, great.
Thank you so much.
This is our wine director, Lando.
Hi, I did hear a lot about you today.
What?
I did listen a lot about you.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, don't trust him. Don't trust him. Don't trust him. Don't trust him.
Thank you so much.
He's gonna show the kitchen.
Oh,
yeah,
I want to see. Can I see the kitchen?
Yeah, of course.
Kitchen. So take me.
Okay. This guy is making some,
Hi.
you know, the bitter ball from all cheese. This is the rôtisseur for all the meat and the fish. So this is one of the screens I was talking about.
Okay, nice. So no bell, just the screen. But okay.
No bell. This is some cheese bread.
Wow.
This here, as you can see, is the
progress of the kitchen.
The Michelin.
Oh, you have the Michelin
ambassador, of course. This is the pastry section.
Mm-hmm.
So we see some macarons.
Ah, nice.
And this is the cold section. This is the olive oil I was talking about.
Nice. Green olive oil.
Green one, yeah.
Please.
So
that is made with what?
this is a potato,
Oh,
a crispy potato. That's how we make them. Yes. So
oh, and
that's
the
a little
fridge.
bit.
Can I see the fridge?
The fridge,
Yeah,
of course.
of course I want to see the fridge. That is the. Oh, there they are. Nice.
So for me, I'm a little bit crazy. All of the stickers need to be on the right side
Oh my God.
of the. Yeah, this is.
It needs to be on the right side.
Yeah, always.
Distance.
This is the. I don't know if you know this one, the carabinero
Carabinero. Yes, of course. Yeah.
from Spain. Yeah, so this is the way we are working.
My God.
Everything separate.
You need to
Everything
promise
fresh.
me if I'm going to visit you, let me see the kitchen.
Of course, yeah. Because this is the chef's table.
Nice.
And
Nice.
this is the view. This is the other part, of course. The other side is the dump square, but as I showed you before, this is the rock-in.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Nice. It was so fun. Thank you so much. I'm hungry now.
Me too.
What are you going to
For a
eat?
quick dinner, and then
What are you going to eat?
we're eating lasagna.
Mm. Normal lasagna?
Yeah, with tomato, spinach,
What do you cook at home?
bechamel.
What you cook when you are at home?
Just easy things.
What? What?
Just
Eggs,
comfort
boiled
food.
eggs.
Yeah, pasta, salads, some oven dishes. So I like to eat curry, like Thai curry, rice.
Okay. No. Nice. Thank you so much. A big hug for you.
Great.
Okay. Big kiss. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you guys to stay and listen until the end. That tells a lot about yourself. So, are you ready for more? We will have a new episode straight for. But don't forget to check out theinfluentialchef.com and our social media and check out my account as well. My name is Rocky Valente and I am here to make your dreams a reality. I am what you need to become the next influential chef. So connect with me. I see you on the next episode.